Dear students, today we are going to discuss about classroom discussion topic guided media in computer network. Already we know the computer components sender, receiver, message, protocols and transmission medium. In transmission medium can be classified into two categories. One is guided media and another one is unguided media. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about guided media. In Unit 1, we are going to discuss about guided media in this lecture. Lecture outcome. After listening this video lecture, what capability you will get it? That is the lecture outcome. So you will be understand the different types of cables used in networks and identify the proper cable for wired network from guided media to form a network as per requirements. Okay. So the transmission media is categorized into two categories. One is guided media, another one is unguided media, which is used wired communication, that is considered as the guided media, which is wireless communication, that is considered as the unguided transmission medium. In guided medium also have using different types of cables, twisted pair cables, coaxial cable, fiber optical cables. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about only this part, guided media. Okay. So what is guided media? Then how these three cables, how it is used in this, that we are going to discuss. Guided media means which are those that provide a contact from one device to another, include twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and fiber optical cable. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about these three cables. A signal traveling along any of this media is directed and contained by the physical limits of the medium. So twisted pair medium, the cable and coaxial cable use metallic conductors. Okay. The conductor may be used for transmit the signals. So these two cables are using metallic. Metallic means copper wire. They are used for transmit the signals from one device to another device. Conductor that accept and transport the signal in the form of electric current. Okay, so the metallic copper wire is used for transmitting electric current. Optical fiber is a cable that accept and transport the signal in the form of light. Okay. So there electrical signals we are passing, here we are passing the lights. You see here in this diagram represents the twisted pair cables. Again, twisted pair cables are have two varieties. One is unshielded twisted pair cables, another one is shielded twisted pair cables. So in the cable actually, inside the copper metallic wire may be used, that is considered as the conductor, and the plastic wrapper may be used, that is for insulator. So normal wire we are using, in home also we are using, that wire is considered as the twisted pair cables. There is a metal shield if it is used, that is shielded twisted pair cables. If there is no metal shield is there, only plastic wrapper is there, means that is considered as the unshielded twisted pair cables. Okay. So these cables are categorized in different category. So there is a category numbers are allocated for each and everything. So in this table, you just read unshielded twisted pair used in telephone. In telephone line, what they are using. So that is category 1. Used in the telephone line. So have the 0.1 Mbps, less than 0.1 Mbps, megabits per second data rate. Okay. So according to these numbers, okay, 2 Mbps speed, unshielded twisted pair, originally used in the T lines. Okay. So CAT2 used LAN cables, it may be used for 10 Mbps. CAT3 used in token ring networks, 20 Mbps. Like that, it will be is there. Okay, sometimes called SSTP, shielded screen twisted pair cables. This cable used to transmit the signal for 60 Mbps. So these all the categories are used for forming a network, local area network. Okay, you just remind that. So these are the connector used for these twisted pair cables. So this RJ45 pin. Okay. So this RJ45 pin, female connection and male connection connector is there. So RJ means registered jack. So RJ means registered jack 45. The number is defined by the, already we know that ISO standard. They are defined this number, radio registered jack. That connector is used for twisted pair cables. Okay. Unshielded twisted pair cables. For that we are used these connectors. So this is a female connector. This is a male connector. Next type is coaxial cable. Coaxial means, what is a coaxial cable? Instead of having two wires, coaxial have a center core conductor of solid or standard wire. Usually copper will be used for inner side. So we know that cable wire. Yes, normally we are using in our TV sensitive cable, single wire it will come now. That wire is considered the coaxial cable. Inner side only one copper it's coming. Instead of two wires, it will comes only single wire. So it will be enclosed with an insulating sheath, which is in turn encased in the outer conductor of metal foil, bright, and combinations of these two it will come. Okay. Sorry. So outer metallic wrapping serves both as shielded against noise and as the second conductor which completes the circuits. Okay. So while we are seeing this image, you will get clear idea. Okay. So this is the inner conductor. This is the inner conductor. This conductor is used to transmit the signals. There is an insulator used. Okay. So this insulator will avoid the noises which is generated through heat, and outer conductor also will be there. So this is also used for avoiding the disturbance of the cable. So finally the outer layer is there. So when you are take your TV connections, you just check how it is there. Okay. So practically, if you are opening it, you are able to see how it is there. They are wrapped the cover in the coaxial cable. Okay, coaxial cables are categorized by their radio government RG values. Okay, the radio government values. So each RG number denotes a unique set of physical specifications. There is a number is there. According to that number, its individual specifications are there. So including the wire gauge of the inner conductor and the thickness and the type of the inner insulators and the construction of the shield and the size and type of the outer casing. So all the factors are related to that number. Each cable defined by an RG rating is adapted for a specified function. So now you see that RG59. This is one of the category. So in this category, the impedance is 75 ohms. Okay. So it may be used for cable TV. So this RG59 cables we are normally used for cable TV connections. So RG58 it is 50 ohms impedance. That thin Ethernet they are used, and RG11 50 ohms it is for thick Ethernet they are used. So these are the categories of coaxial cables. And how these cables are connected with other devices, we need some connectors to connect it. Yes. So these are the connector. This connector name is Bayonne nail Concealment connectors. Okay. So normally we are called like Bnc connectors. The Bnc connectors normally it will have some lock button is there. This lock will be helped to fix it in the device. Okay. This is the cable with the connector it is there. So it is the T connector, Pnc T connector. It will be used for connecting two cables in a device. And this is the Pnc terminator. So this terminator have ground wire also it is there. Okay. So this terminator is have ground wire. It is used for 50 watts maximum. So these are the connector used for coaxial cable. So now we know that this Bnc connector, Bnc terminators we are discussed. This Bnc terminator is for the end of the cable to connect the devices. So finally, fiber optical cables. What is fiber optical cable? Already we discussed twisted pair cables and coaxial cable is used with the metallic wire like copper wire. It is used to transmit the electrical signals. But here the fiber optical cable is used for made up of glass or plastic. Okay, glass or plastic, and transmit the signals in the form of light. Here there is no electrical signal here. The signal will be converted into light. The light will be transmitted. Okay, so understand optical fiber, we first need to explore several aspects of the nature of the light. The light travels in the straight line as long as moving through the single uniform substances. Okay. If a ray of light traveling through one substance suddenly enters in another substance, the ray changes the directions. Okay, refractions will be there. The following figures will be shown the directions and all. Okay. So there is the I value. This I value is less than critical angle. So that mean is refraction. I value and critical angle is the same. Then it is called like refraction. But if the I value is greater than critical angle, that is called like reflections. So how the way is going, that is we are discussed here. Okay. So according to the density of the medium, it will be working at. So at the figure says that the angle of incidence, that I is angle of incidence. The angle the ray make with the line perpendicular to the interfaces between the two substances is less than the critical angle. The ray refracts and move closer to the surfaces. Okay. So even angle of incidence is equal to the critical angle. The light bends along the interfaces. Okay. So finally, the angle is greater than the critical angle. The ray reflects and travels again in the denser substances. Okay. So just you have to remind. You see, this is the fiber optical, how the light, the signals as the light transmitted. So in this optical wires, inside the glass material will be there. The glass is considered the core material. Okay. So core is considered the glass or plastic that will be covered with the claddings. Okay. It is restricted for the signal will be go out. It will be restricted the refractions. So this surrounded by a cladding of less dense glass or plastics. The difference in density of the two materials must be such that a beam of light moving through the core is reflected off the cladding instead of being refracted into it. Okay, so what they are saying that, so here we are core material is there, the central material, it is used to transmit the lights with the reflection methods. Whenever the cladding is less, then it will be refracted. Okay. So propagation mode in fiber optical cable, there is two mode is there, single mode and multi mode. The single mode simply we can transmit the single signal, but multi mode is there is again further classified into step index and graded index. So this we will discuss in this slide. So here normally nowadays, so multi-mode can be implemented in two forms. One is step index, another one is graded index. Okay. What is multi-mode? Multi-mode means multiple beams form of light sources move through the core. Okay. So the single core is there means multiple signals. This is one, another one is like this. So if multiple beams are transmitted in the core, then it is called like multi-mode transmissions. So you see here, this is multi-mode step index method. Okay, so multi-mode step index method. This is for multi-mode graded index method. One will be in the sender port, another will be in the reflection method. But here all the signals are getting reflected. Okay, more than two signals are transmitted at the same time. In single mode, directly only one signal will be transmitted, okay, through that port. Optical fibers are defined by the ratio of the diameter of their core to the diameter of their cladding, both expressed in the micrometers. Okay, so how it will be classified? According to the core and according to the cladding. Both will be used. The unit is micrometers. Okay, so how it will be used? And then what mode it will be transmitted? For that, the type they are mentioned like 50 by 125. So like here, core is 50 and cladding is 125. Like that, the same value they are represented. Okay, so example 100 core and 125 micrometer as cladding. That type is called by 100 by 125. So here we are able to see that 7.0 and 125. So this 7 micrometer is used for single mode transmissions. So fiber construction, how we are construct the fiber wire. Okay. So here this is the image for fiber cables. The inner glasses will be used. So this is the core. Okay, this is the core place, and this is the outer layer for core. That is the cladding. Already we are saying that cladding. Okay. So this outer jacket is made either PVC or Teflon. This outer jacket is there, no? This may be used as the PVC or Teflon coated. Inside the jacket are Kevlar started and strengthen the cable. So these lines are there now. Two font Kevlar for strengthen the cable. Okay, this cable for without damage it will be useful for bulletproof. Like normally it is used for as a bulletproof. And fiber is at the center of the cable and consists of the cladding and core. Okay, so for fiber optic, we have three connectors. One is SC connector, ST connector, and empty RJ connector. Okay, what is SC connector? So SC connector means subscriber channel connector. So it is used for cable TV users. Okay, push and pull locking system will be there. So here they are using the locking system. That will be push and pull up system will be there. ST connector means straight tip connector. Okay, straight tip connector. It is used for connecting the cable to networking devices. If you want to connect to TV means we can use this SC connector. If any devices we want to connect means we can use ST connector. Next one is empty RJ connectors. So already we know the RJ connectors. RJ45 is there. No, same like that. Mechanical transfer registered jack. Empty means mechanical transfer registered jack connector. So it is used for same purpose RJ45. So advantages of fiber optical is higher bandwidth, less signal attenuation, immunity to electromagnetic interference, resistance to corrosive materials, lightweight, greater immunity to tapping. Okay. But disadvantage is installation and maintenance is very difficult. If in case of damage or we have to reconnect it means it is very costly. And unidirectional light propagation. So it's only direct send the data to only unidirectional, not reverse directions. And cost also too high. So end of this lecture. So now we know different types of cables we are discussed. Twisted pair, coaxial cable, fiber optical cables. Now you know how it is there, how it is classified. And now you can identify which wire is used for which network. Or if you are given any situations, or according to the cost, you can decide which guided media is useful for designing the network for given scenario and given requirements. Okay. You see, these are the sample questions I given for you. Why wires are twisted in the twisted pair cables? Okay. So if you are given individual wires, the wires may be, if you are given two parallel wires, the wires will get more heat. That time it will get damaged. But if you are using twisted, then automatically both it will be managed their uh, problems, whichever causing the impairments is there, no, that will be avoided. So that's why we can give twisted pair cables. List the different PNC connector types. So Pnc connector types we are used normally Bnc connector, Bnc connector, Pnc terminator. So that we are used. What is the use of straight tip connector, ST connector? So this connector may be used for previous slides we are discussed now. Wherever the network devices is there, we are using this connector. Okay. So thank you very much for listening this video. The next classroom discussion topic is unguided media that we will discuss in the next video. Thank you very much.